We're at American Top Team here in Coconut Creek in South Florida. Premier training facility and one of the premier fighters training here, Johnny Eblen. He's got a big fight, Bellator 282 on Showtime, main event, going for the middleweight title. This is an awesome opportunity for you. Just what is it like? Because you've got the champ just beat Austin Vanderford, another that trains at American Top Team, another top talent. What is it like for you going into this big bout for the title?
I'm just really excited to go out, fight one of the best in the world, and showcase my skills on a guy like him.
Did you get to watch the fight against Austin, and do you pick up things when you're watching other fights?
Yeah, I got to watch it. I mean, there wasn't much to take away from that fight, but he has a lot of film on him. I've been studying him. There's a bunch. So I literally last night I was watching some film. So there's a few fights I like to refer to, and I kind of stick to those.
When you're here training and getting ready for the big fight, who's getting ready? You getting ready for this one? Who's preparing you?
Oh, who's preparing me?
Yes.
Like training partner wise or like coach wise?
Yes, both actually.
I got King Mo, my head coach, Mike Brown. Got Thiago Alves, Pitbull, and then we got Steve Mocco. He's been helping me out. And training partner wise, I've been sparring a lot with Alessio Sakara, Artem Levine. I mean, I get rounds with a lot of people. I've gotten rounds with Roman Feraldo. I've gotten rounds with who else? Clyde. He just went back to his country, but he's a kickboxer, light heavyweight guy. Dalton Rasta, been getting rounds with him. Just been getting work with everybody.
It's just amazing. What is it like working, training here at American Top Team?
It's great. One of the best facilities in the world. Great training partners, great coaches, top of the line.
It's interesting too because when you have other fighters training here, like I mentioned Austin Vanderford, what would it be like to have down the road a fight between you two? He comes back, gets some wins, you get the title, things like that and all. What is it like when you have two fighters training in the same facility, possibly going up against each other?
It's not uncommon here. It happens a lot, so it'd just be business as usual. What
do you like so much about fighting?
I don't know, man. I think there's something wrong with me. I don't know. I just like competing, and I don't mind getting punched in the face. I used to wrestle when I was a kid. From the age of 4, I wrestled all the way through college. And I don't know. It got like the competitive nature out of me, but I think fighting gets a little bit more out of me. I don't know what it is. I think I'm built for this. And yeah, I just really enjoy it.
Well, so far, 11-0, undefeated as a professional. When you were doing your wrestling and then decided, all right, I'm going to transition to MMA, how did you make that step? How did that go to that part of the journey?
So actually after my senior year in college, I ended up moving down here for a job, and I had no ambitions to fight. It was always kind of in the background, like maybe, but I never really had an outlet. I was coaching wrestling down here at the same time as I was working at a paving company, Southern Paving. Ended up meeting Steve Mocco. He got me into the gym, got me grappling, got me kind of like interested in it, gave me an outlet. Then from there I met King Mo, I met Mike Brown, met the whole coaching staff here, met a lot of the training partners here and the fighters, and eventually I got a couple amateur fights, and then ended up quitting my job, and Mike Brown let me stay at his house for a little bit, and then from there I'm fighting for a world title.
That's an awesome story, John.
Yeah, 5 years later I'm fighting for a world title.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And were you at one of the colleges or one of the schools down here when you were coaching?
Yeah, I was coaching at American Heritage Delray with JP Reese.
Yeah, Delray, because I was going to say there's also another one in Plantation as well, but this one
they're really good at football. They're a little bit better at football.
Football.
Yeah.
Football, also baseball. They do well at baseball too,
Nice.
but I know the one up in Delray too is a very good athletic program and all. You were into coaching. Obviously now your main focus is fighting. You have this big world title fight, Bellator 282, Friday, June 24th on Showtime, main event. Do you like coaching?
I don't coach anymore.
When you did coach, was
Yeah,
that something you...
It was fun. I just don't think coaches are compensated enough for their time, but most of the time people coach because they really enjoy it, not for the money.
You mentioned Coach Mocco here.
Yep.
What is it like having him here, and then also what is it like training in what I call the Mocco dungeon?
Oh, Mocco's wrestling room? It's pretty awesome. It's I mean, I used to watch him wrestle when I was a kid, and you know, there's like legends about him, and he's the man. He's a great dude, and I really enjoy training with him and working with him and being an athlete of his.
Well, that's interesting. You mentioned a story about coaching at American Heritage Delray, and then just meeting him. Was that the first time you ever met Coach Mocco?
Yes.
And just for you, what was that like?
Yeah, no, it was actually really cool because we were kind of coaching the same kid, and I met him like at a practice, like a closed practice with a few bigger guys, and Mocco was wrestling, and me and Mocco ended up wrestling, and it got like we were going at it, and I remember after the rounds he was like, "Hey man, you're pretty good. You should come up to the gym. I think you'd be pretty good at fighting if you're interested." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, man." And yeah, it's been history since then.
He gives so much back, not only to you and other fighters here, but also the youth, the kids.
Yeah.
I've come up here before and seen him working out and others working out with the kids and all like that. Just what do you think about his passion for wrestling and what he's doing?
Oh, he has a huge passion for wrestling, and what he's doing down here is awesome for the younger crowd and the high schoolers down here to really level up the game in wrestling in South Florida.
His sons are pretty good too.
Yeah. I wrestle with Michael here and there, and he's getting stronger and getting better, and it's fun.
8th grader makes it already to the high school state championships.
Yeah.
It's just incredible and all. And the younger son also is very good at the wrestling as well. It's like a DNA in that Mocco family.
I mean, you wake up and your dad's Mocco, and you're going to be wrestling, fishing, hunting. You know, you're going to be getting after it that day.
Well, I say the same thing about Conan, because then Josh is here, and he's doing his thing. And what's so great about those kids and those younger talents is the humility and the humbleness that they have as well. And it seems like for you, the humility and the humbleness is something that has been a part of you and your journey and all. Just what do you think about just not so much doing the trash talk and just being a strong fighter, but showing what you're doing when you're in competition rather than the mouth?
Yeah, I'm not too big on trash talk. I'm bigger on, you know, just showing that I'm competent at fighting and showing my skill sets and letting that do the talking. I mean, I'm not afraid to talk trash if need be. Like if someone's going out of their way to talk shit to me, I'm not afraid to talk shit back, because I'm willing to step in a cage and try to take your head off. So yeah, but it's not my main part of my game. I'm not too big on it. I really want to just showcase my skills and have the audience be like, wow, Johnny's good, you know, and get points for that, not get points for a mouth.
Was there a point so far in your career where, whether it was amateur or pro, that there was a fight that you had, or even training, that you were like, yeah, I can do this, and I'm getting better at it, and this is something now, I got a goal, I could go for it?
Honestly, it was within the first couple weeks I was training here. I was rolling around with like Abu Dhabi champions, and you know, keeping up with them, and you know, my wrestling base was pretty damn good to start with, and I started like striking was a little bit hard at the beginning, but I started getting it together. But yeah, honestly, after the first couple weeks, after the first like month being in the gym, I kind of saw it being my path to where I'm at right now, you know, fighting for a world championship. I want to be a world champion and be the best in the world at it. So.
And you're one step away right now from being the best in the world, fighting the middleweight champ.
Yep.
Without giving too much detail about strategy and things like that and all, what do you think of your opponent, the middleweight champ, coming into this fight?
Gegard's a really solid fighter. He's good everywhere. Great on his feet. Great ground and pound from the top. Can get away from the bottom when he needs to. He's not like a great jiu-jitsu guy, but he has some techniques that he uses to get up. And just a veteran, a skilled veteran, and gets after it, you know. He gets in a lot of scraps. He has a high fight IQ. So, yeah, man, he's a very well-rounded fighter.
I did mention, obviously, the Austin Vanderford fight, his last fight, and the TKO, so that one, I guess he's very good, too, with his striking and all, so he's very well-rounded in his game. You're a wrestler, but now you've become well-rounded, just training here at American Top Team.
For sure.
What were the different skill levels for you, because you were a wrestler? Was it the striking? Was it other things that you've adapted and incorporated in your game to make you a better fighter?
For sure. Just blending the wrestling and the striking together. Being more experimental with my striking. You know, not confining myself to a box and having fun with it. And just really enjoying myself when I spar, when I train, and, you know, just putting things together nicely and kind of working from my base and not forgetting what I'm good at, and that's wrestling. And I have a great gas tank. Two really good things I have that are kind of hard to get. And like a good gas tank is like, you can't really get that. Like, that's kind of naturally given. And also, like, having that collegiate wrestling base, not too many people have that. And not too many can be good at wrestling and be good at fighting. And I'm one of those guys.
And that's interesting, too, because when you were first training, and I always go back to the beginnings of this, because you were an accomplished, successful amateur wrestler, now you are incorporating other things into the sport, into the skill level. And you talked about it a little bit, but for you, what was it like that first month, that first few months of now adapting the striking and doing that, and like, okay, it's not just wrestling, it's me doing that and going for that, because obviously your wrestling was there, but now you're going for the striking and maybe other aspects of the sport.
Kickboxing and, you know.
And just things like that. Did you ever get a mindset like, okay, I know I can do this at the beginning, but I'm a wrestler. So they're trying to get you to do it, but you're a wrestler.
I honestly felt like wrestling didn't really, how do I explain this?
It's hard. Wrestling,
like when I wrestled, I felt like I was confined.
Oh, okay.
Like when I fight, I don't feel confined. I feel like I'm doing what I need to do. I don't know. I feel like I was a pretty good like amateur wrestler in college. Never I didn't place at NCAA's. I was ranked top 10 my junior and senior year. But I think I was like 86 and like 20 or something. My collegiate record was, or whatever. So I was a pretty solid wrestler, but I think I'm a better fighter.
For you then, coming into this sport, it was just like, wow, I'm glad I met Coach Mocco, and I'm glad he gave me that opportunity to be able to do this, because if not, maybe you'd be coaching, maybe you'd be doing something else at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd be doing, honestly. I'd probably just be working, getting after it, and trying to make money, and trying to, I don't know, maybe coaching. I don't know. Honestly, I'm living the dream. This is what I've always kind of wanted, to be a professional fighter and fight for world titles and make money doing it and have fun. Wake up, have fun every day, and train and get better.
This is so awesome. A couple more questions to let you go, Johnny, and thank you so much for your time. It's interesting because as someone who doesn't know about fighting as far as just being in there, you're doing it. You and the other fighters here. You're in this big fight. Championship fight, main event. It's on Showtime. Your focus is on the fighter and winning the fight. How cool is it for family and friends to see Johnny in the main event on Showtime doing this thing?
No, it's probably pretty cool for them. You know, I think I surprised a lot of people. I don't think people really expected me to be where I'm at. I always have. I don't think others really portray or put me in that position to be, you know, a guy fighting for a world championship after his collegiate career. You know, I don't think a lot of people expected that. So I think it's pretty cool for family and friends to see where I'm at and see my dedication and see my success.
Who will be with you? Do you know already? Will King Mo be with you for this fight?
King Mo, Mike Brown, and Thiago Alves.
Yeah, they're all going to be there for this and all. Now I know, and I'll end it with this because I usually always end it with this, but amateur wrestling, pro wrestling, I know they're two totally different things. Yeah. Your coach King Mo and others, Dan Lambert, American Top Team, I can go down the list. Paige Van Zandt, Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
They've all got involved in pro wrestling. I'm just wondering, Johnny, maybe down the road one day,
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, it's cool. I actually saw like some clips of Paige, and she looked pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like she was doing some cool shit. I'm like, damn, it's impressive, you know. Some of the shit they do is pretty crazy, but for me, it's not. It's all an act. I know it is, and it's all storyline.
It's physicality, but it's a show.
Yeah,
but it's
they have
a
to
show.
talk shit and like play this character, and I'm not that. I guess I'm not that guy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, who you are is a fighter fighting for the Bellator Middleweight Championship
Yes, sir.
at Bellator 282 on Showtime on Friday, June 24th. Johnny, all the best to you, American Top Team, and on this fight, and thank you so much.
Thank you.